Now, so it's the final episode of the Lamborghini season pass, and yeah, I said I'd go down through the quests in this and kind of give some pointers, tips, and see the tracks to do some of the long grinds on these. Now, the season is 14 days remaining on it, so it wasn't just 1 week at the end, so you do have 2 weeks to complete all these quests to get the last blueprints for the Gallardo, and yeah, obviously get the reward for completing all of these. Because with the Porsche season pass, there was 1,000,000 credits to be had if you completed all of the quests, but I'll give a rundown through them just for anyone who's missing the text on these, and then start giving pointers as to the tricky little ones, and then where the grinds happen. I'll put markers down below in the timeline of this if you want to click forward to any mission in particular, or the rewards at the end. And obviously guys, if you like these videos, please do click subscribe, give a like, or leave a comment down below and say how you're getting on with this, or if there was a car or something in particular you're having trouble with, and I'll see if I can get back to those comments straight away. I usually try and reply to all the comments, but I'll just quickly go down through them and then go through what I would advise doing for them and get started at the top. Now, I have got 8% of these complete already, and yeah, I'll go through which one that was. It completed accidentally. Perform 40 seconds in nitro, though in a single career race in shopping spree. That's just a case of finding shopping spree, to be honest, because that's a long track. So 40 seconds in nitro is realistically like, it's just do that race in something like the Grand Sport or the Lotus Elise, one of those cars that you can just leave in a nitro state. You'll get that. I'll point to where you can find that track though. Star up any car is the reason why I put the prepare for this video a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully people watch that and have something ready to rock, or else you can star up the SC18 hopefully in the Grand Prix event if you've qualified for that. But you've got 2 weeks to get a star upgrade for a car. Buy items in the Legend store. Depending on the state of your garage, that can be easy or difficult. Obviously if you got loads of blueprints in there, that's cool. My scenario is I bought a couple of those import parts that were 25k credits, just because of the fact that it's only kind of those or Shelby blueprints that I can really buy inside my Legend store, but that's obviously going to be different depending on the players. Just check in there as much as possible. Finish 65 races in the Caribbean. It's a bad grind, but there's a fast way you can grind through it. I'll go through that in the portion of the video marked as tracks to grind. Finish first place in Himalayas, 2,450, 40 times. Again, sucks, but it's just a grind. Perform 25 Shockwave knockdowns. So with Class BS car, I'm sure quite a lot of people say those letters when they get Shockwave knockdown, but yeah, that can be performed anywhere. So it is just a case of like pulling up next to an AI or so and blasting a shockwave in such a way that it will eradicate that car. It can be kind of difficult to make sure that it's with the actual shockwave that you're doing that, so just it's going to take a small bit of time. But if you just go into one of the career races, I'll find one that's handy enough for doing that. To destroy 10 objects in a single Lamborghini experience event, that is the daily event, which is called the Lamborghini experience, which has the race of like win with each one of the different Lambos. And yeah, all you need to do is have a Lamborghini at over 3 stars and you'll complete that mission once you just destroy 10 objects. So any of the like boxes and bits and pieces lying around the track. One to watch here, perform 250 stunts in multiplayer, but that's not just 250 stunts in multiplayer. Lamborghini, it has to be a Lambo. So you're going to need to get into a league where you can definitely use a Lamborghini, or else use multiplayer 2 if you've got that car. And yeah, do stunts. So any knockdowns, 360s, or barrel rolls count as stunts. 10 360 knockdowns. I don't think anyone in Asphalt needs to be told how to do those at this stage. But yeah, be toxic 10 times. But yeah, it doesn't have to be in multiplayer, so you can just do that to AI in races in career or in daily events if you want to be nice. One of the ones that kind of sucks a small bit here, because of the fact that like it's very, very specifically has to be the Lamborghini Asterion. So reach top 3 in a race 40 times, Cairo, the Asterion. The only issue with that is the fact that the Asterion, if you've bought the Legend Pass, has 8 units of fuel and takes 40 minutes to refuel. So that's one where you're definitely not going to want to leave that until the final day, because yeah, you can only do it so many times before you need to refuel that car. There's an easy enough track, I'll point that out as well with the grind, but at the same time, like I said, main issue with that one is going to be the fact that Asterion takes a long time to refuel. And then beat 85 seconds in Urban Blaze in the Centenario. That's pretty cool as long as you've got a tuned up version. 85 seconds isn't too bad in that. It is one of the 90-second Cairo tracks, but at the same time, it's just going to be down to your Centenario. Not exactly a great car for handling, and that Cairo track has a couple of tricky bits towards the end of it, but yeah, definitely easily possible. So yeah, I'll do a blast through that track as well, just for the sake of yeah, knocking out that time. Now, the one that completed for me was perform one vertical knockdown in a single race. And if you're not sure what that means, it means coming down on top of another car. And that literally completed for me in the Caribbean grind, because I started that grind already, and my AI Hurricane just drove down the ledge and crunched the car. So yeah, you can see the clip here. I did just capture it using the in-game thing at the time it happened. But yeah, I knew the fact that, like, because the car is coming down, that was just it in touch drive on the Caribbean track that I've been using, and it just happened to compact the car on the way down. It was as easy as just, like, yeah, it happened accidentally. So yeah, that one there counts as a vertical knockdown. Even though I don't land on top of the car, it's because the car is moving downwards, and yeah, that's the point where the AI just exploded underneath me. And yeah, that's where I was awarded the Perform 1 thing, which is a crazy amount of points, and it gave me tier 47 just before I started recording this one. Now, and this quest at the end then of beat 85 seconds in Urban Blaze in a single Lamborghini Experience event race. That's like a crazy amount of Legend Pass points. So yeah, I think that's where I'm going to start with these quests. So you have the Urban Blaze Lamborghini Experience with the Centenario. Perform 360 knockdowns. I'm not sure, is the Centenario really the ideal car for that in there, but definitely here, destroy 10 objects in the Lamborghini Experience as well. So I'll definitely do those, because yeah, that track is Urban Blaze, which is a 1 minute and 30 seconds on. Now, I've not actually got any of the Lamborghini Experience event completed in the slightest. I've just been kind of leaving this as a ticket, I've just been kind of leaving this as a token mine that I haven't done anything in. So yeah, if you see my tokens shoot up by 1 or 2,000 in the next couple of days at a point, yeah, I didn't go crazy and whale it out. This is just a case of I haven't hit up this event at all. I think there's about 3k tokens inside here, but yeah, I've just been leaving it as kind of a treat for myself at some time when I want to get some tokens nice and easy. Now, minor jump cut, and yeah, this is kind of thrown together studio because of the fact that there is building work going on outside, and realistically, like, yeah, I can't do anything with that, not work from home or anything. So I've built a new recording studio, which might have a little bit of echo. Now, since I'm kind of gunning for the higher scoring missions first, and it's just to get all the rewards unlocked, yeah, this perform stunts in multiplayer. That's actually been done in 3 races using a Lamborghini Hurricane Evo Spider. And yeah, what I'm doing for those is just completely throwing the race, but just focusing 100% on stunts. So yeah, like, if you think about it, losing a race in multiplayer 1, like, even if it's an 8-person race, losing will cost you a 1 rating. Whereas winning can get you 36. So like, it really is just a case of I'm just gonna forfeit 1 point effectively to complete that quest in, like I said, a handful of runs. Those first stunts, there's like 200 were done in 3 races. For a stunt, that counts as knockdowning the opponents, barrel rolls, and also 360. Now yeah, I'm not gonna try and like 360 knockdown 250 opponents, but what you can do is just effectively something like this, and just nitro 360 over and over again, and yeah, you'll count up. Like I said, I just need about 50 or so, but you can see from doing something like this, like, you're already on close on to 20 stunts by 20% of the race, so you can easily see how it's possible to clock up around 100 or so stunts in a handful of races. And again, like I said, you're gonna lose a race where you're doing stuff like this in it, but at the same time, it's just a case of sacrificing 1 or 2 runs to yeah, get that quest complete as fast as possible if you want to. Like, there's 2 weeks of this Legend Pass remaining, so it would be possible to just kind of grind these ones out a bit more naturally, I'd say. But at the same time, like, if you want to just, like I'm doing here, power through it, it's possible to do this in about 3 or 4 runs. Barrel rolls way less effective than 360. Although my driver will probably not thank me for this afterwards. Let's see. I think at the start of this race, I think it was on 200 something. Ooh, definitely need to get back up speed there. I don't believe, by the way, that there's a disqualification time that's too strict in any of the multiplayer races. That said, even if you would get disqualified, you don't need to finish the race for these to count. All it has to be is just actually do the stunts. So, wah, dizzying. But yeah, like it is just a case of 360 nitro, 316 nitro the whole way around. And yeah, I lose 1 point here. I can win a single race and get back 36 of those. So like doing this quest in this manner cost me a total of 4 points. And yeah, like then the quest is done. I don't have to worry about it. And it's yeah, out of the way. 224 Legend Pass points in the bag. Nice and handy. Beat 85 seconds in the Urban Blaze in the single Lamborghini Experience events. I'm going to go and take my Centenario on a blast through this one, get that 85 seconds. And yeah, that's going to be a trivial enough time, I feel, with this. But one thing I am going to do is, courtesy of that last riot for this, yeah, I am going to gold out my Centenario just for the sake of... It's going to actually be the first golden S-Class car that I have, and the second golden Lamborghini that I got. But yeah, I said I may as well give that thing its treats and put in some of those epics that I picked up in that car hunt riot for the yeah, fairly duff, but at the same time it's a cool entry to the S-Class, and I think everyone's kind of gets that thing of going, oh, this is a cool car, and then putting stuff into it and going, oh, less so. But still, now it's golden, so that's an extra nice little gem on my account. But like I said, I'm going to take this one through Urban Blaze here. 85 seconds, so 1 minute and 25. And yeah, realistically, I don't think that's going to push too much of a challenge on this version of the car. Urban Blaze is also a track which has loads and loads of items scattered all over there. So it's definitely going to be, I mean, you can see even on the load up screen, there is just kind of stuff all over the track. So all I'm going to need to do is pretty much not like actively try and avoid that. And or have the AI just destroy it all for me. Really handy stuff. But yeah, like this car, like I mentioned, it's never exactly got amazing with all the amount of tuning that went into it. But it's a cool enough Lambo. Just a case of like, yeah, it was a little bit of a shame that it's the kind of entry car that most people get into it, because in the early stars, this one is cool enough, but then as it goes towards like 3, 4, and 5 stars, it just does not get any better. Speed absolutely woefully dropping down to 139 miles an hour. The what you call it, the H2 speed would clear way more than that. Just getting some items here as I go down. And yeah, that's 12 obstacles destroyed by going that path alone. It's going to be way more here. Yes, and there's 7. Punch towards the finish area. Just drift in along the wall. And let's see, how much time have we got to spare? 110. Yeah, there's like, with some extra kind of venturing out into destroying things, there's a 10-second gap that you're able to have there. And like, yeah, there was no real need for me to hunt down items because they were just all over that track realistically. And yay, 100 tokens. My first farming from the yeah, this event. Get myself 100 tokens, and then yeah, destroy those for tier 49. And also yeah, tier 49 open again, but yeah, that's the time destroyed, like I said, by 10 seconds. And some Galado Epic, which is going to be pretty useless to me because I have the feeling that's going to be left at 2 stars. Now, since I am pretty much just one mission away from completing all the rewards part of this Legend Pass at least, I'm going to just focus on these 2 here for the 224 Legend points. Yeah, that is perform Shockwave knockdowns and 360 knockdowns. Now, you can just go about getting those in normal gameplay, but see, for the class B that's required on those, it's kind of easier to go in here to career, go into something like north to south here in the career, and the second race, the freedom route, ironically for a hunted race, yeah, it lets you pick something like the Ferrari 488 GT B class car, and yeah, just lock it in. Now, obviously, you may fail this race if you get slowed down too much, but any 360 knockdown you get on the cop AI or any nitro shockwave knockdowns, they'll all count even if you get DQ'd. So it is just a case of trying to pick up as many of them as possible. So just at the start of the race, make sure and build that nitro meter, fill it right the ways up, and yeah, then just wait, because like obviously there is races in this where you will get loads of opportunities to hit into normal AI, but sometimes they can be a bit difficult in trying to be elusive away from you, whereas in something like this, yeah, you can see that you do just get constantly swarmed by the cop AI rather than actually you trying to hunt them down. And yeah, if you are picking one of these hunted events, do just pick one, like I said, where you've got the Class B cars, so that you can get both of these type of knockdowns completed in the one event. And again, it is just a case of like, even if you would get knocked out of one of these, yeah, they'll all still count towards your quest completion. So there's a 360 knockdowns complete, and that's some token reward for that instead, because there is 50 tiers now complete, 500 tokens. Very nice. But yeah, you can see now that there's also tokens being rewarded for the quests that are complete as well. Now all tiers unlocked, and yes, I continue playing to get more tokens, so that's why I kind of focused on getting the big missions done first so it would complete, and then it's just 5 tokens each for all the rest of the quests that I have left in there. So I'm just gonna gun through those nice and fast now. That's one more run there on Rome's complete tour, and yeah, congratulations, 5 tokens. Yay for fantastic rewards. I think the rest of the season pass is going to be worth about 20-30 tokens to me. Now, these 3 at the top though perform 40 seconds of nitro time in a single race in Shanghai shopping spree, star up a car, and buy items in the Legend store. Now, starring up a car is one that I mentioned in the prep for this video, and yeah, I've got one sat right in the garage waiting to go. My Shelby GR1, star up, go! And yeah, you can see the 5 tokens popping in as well when this thing stars up. But yeah, that counts as long as, like I said, you just have the car sitting waiting for the star up. So one more tier complete, and yeah, an extra star on that Shelby. That's pretty cool. Buying items in the Legend store, that is just something that, like, it is just going to take a matter of time to do that, and realistically I've just been like kind of forced into doing it via things like the 25k import parts, because realistically there's only 2 blueprints I can get from here, which is the blueprints for the Shelby or else the blueprints for the Genty, and the Genty ones are incredibly rare for credits, and the Shelby ones, it comes maybe 1 or 2 a day. So I've just been buying a couple of these ones for 25k. It's going to take me a day or 2 to do that, but at the same time, it's like, in the grand scheme of out of 11 million, taking a few k and putting them into getting that quest complete is pretty much the easiest way of doing it. I could also buy a big import parts here, but realistically those cars, I've no immediate need of them. I'm not going to spend trade coins just for the sake of getting the things, where like 15,000 trade coins far more difficult to get back into your garage than just some credits that you can grind out from a multiplayer 1. Perform 40 seconds of nitro time in a single career race though in shopping spree on Shanghai. That's an incredibly long track. 40 seconds of nitro time realistically is not difficult. It is just a case of where to find the track, and that is right here at the very start of the career. Exclusive Asia challenge, and just go into that, complete all the way through to the final race, and that is shopping spree. Pick something with a decent enough nitro gaining ability, like say the Honda Civic if you've got access to it, or even the Lancer King is pretty much fine for that, just as long as it can generate a fair enough amount of nitro to stay in that state for about half the race. But like I said, I'm not going to go through the entire race because it's an incredibly long race, and getting 40 seconds of nitro time in it is, it's trivial realistically. Now, and there we go, 1 minute and 50 seconds, like that's an incredibly long race, and Honda Civic's able to stay in that nitro state for nearly 90% or so of that, so absolutely, really just a case of find the track and then, get it done. It'll just take one race. And as always, the absolutely horrific grind sessions. So that is. Now, there's a couple of handy enough things with this and a bad thing. Obviously, the Cairo race in the Lamborghini Asterion sucks because the car takes a long time to refuel. It's 40 minutes once it's out of gas. So I would say focus on, do make sure you grind that one out ASAP. Himalayas, this one isn't too bad at all because there's a nice place to get access to that. And the Caribbean is really handy because it's actually just finished a race. So it doesn't matter like how you perform on that Caribbean track. So for the Caribbean, given the fact that it's just a finished race, straight in here, welcome to paradise, select the Caribbean Resort Dash, and just select the very first car. Now, this one will actually win most of the time as well, but just throw that into touch drive, let it go 65 times. All you need to do is just press A when it comes back. Car has a 2-minute refuel time. It can do it really, really simply. Just takes about an hour or so because this race takes about 28 seconds or so per run of this. But yeah, given the fact that this one is a finished race as well, even if this car was to lose the race, it would still complete the actual requirement for it. Just leave it run 65 times and just ignore your switch for a while. No, and there we go, 5 tokens for doing that 65 times. But I just want to have this one 100%ed, so I still do them all. Now, as for the Himalayas 2450 rating, now there's two things to this. One is if you've got the 2450 car, you could come in here to the Asia exclusive event again right at the start, Leap of Fate. That one's a really, really short track and just going to jump straight across. The only thing with it is that it obviously doesn't have a whole load of cars, so depending on how your Acura and stuff like that is, you may not have access to it here. So if you are kind of limited on those what would be lower rated cars, Class C Novice as well has another really short track in Himalayas, track 8 here at Freefall. And yeah, that gives you access to obviously all of the C-class cars. So you're going to hopefully have some one of these over the 2450 rating requirement for that. And yeah, it is just a case of you can run those on touch drive. Because yeah, this one has a recommended rank of 1000. So any of the cars that are on the 3K mark will easily win this one in touch drive. The only thing is Leap of Fate, it's slightly easier on touch drive because sometimes a car can wreck while it's coming down that hill. That was why I stuck with the Asian Challenge second race, Leap of Fate, for most of mine. And like I said, just as long as it's over 450, perfectly fine to just leave it in touch drive and yeah, leave it run those races over and over again. Now, and that's my last one of those complete as well. So Himalayas ticked off, and yeah, the reason I was doing the Asia one is obviously it's right here at race number 2, is easy to click onto, and Honda Civic just there. Now, and the Asterion one then, the one that's kind of odd because of the fuel, like that just needs to be done on a Cairo track with the Asterion. So where I would suggest for that is into career and Class B rookie here, and go up to track number 6, Cairo Tower Finish. It's a one where most Asterion should be okay to kind of finish that race in first place. I think is it first, second or third for this one, but yeah, my car is being grand for just touch driving this. And like I said, with the season pass, at least I've got 8 units of fuel, so this just took 5 refuels to get it complete. But still, this is definitely one that you don't want to leave until the final days if you are intending to 100% all of the missions in this Legend Pass anyway. 40 seconds there with that. It wins the race every time. It's 40 or 40 for me, and yeah, that's that one. Really annoying grind out of the way with, handily enough. No, so finally the store refreshed, and yeah, time to pick up the last 2 bits here to practice one. Getting a good few Shelby blueprints, but yeah, having to resort also to, unfortunately, 25k. But yeah, that's the entire thing complete then. So completed all the season missions, and yeah, that's all the tiers, and claim reward for that, which is always pretty cool. It's like it's 1,000,000 credits. But to be fair, for that, say I had to buy about maybe 10 of those import parts. So I'm talking about like maybe 250,000 gone into that. So It's not exactly all profit, but at the same time, yeah, I couldn't really hang around the 2 weeks for the Shelby blueprints because, yep, this season pass will be pretty much all finished up. One thing that was cool, yeah, Lamborghini season's completed. 12 more days of all the rewards, so yeah, that's the extra trade coins and yeah, fuel units for the car and stuff, so that's pretty cool. One thing about this season pass has been the fact that, and like a lot of people pointed it out, the fact that much like the way the Porsches are all quite similar cars, so are a lot of the Lamborghinis, and I guess it's the thing when you focus on any one brand. So like you have American seasons and British seasons and stuff like that on the horizon, but these first two seasons have been pretty meh-ish a small bit for me. I'm thinking, especially in this Lambo season, the actual Science special event and the Benino special event, both of those were really, really bad. And that's saying it as somebody that got the car out of them. It's just like those events were not kind of built in a special way. They were just built in a kind of a pay money if you don't have the cars way. And I don't know. I imagine I'll get the next season pass because these are good value if you're playing the game quite a lot. But definitely, I can see why quite a lot of players are dropping out though. Because, yeah, in my opinion, this season pass was okay, but the cars were mediocre. The special events are terrible. The Jesco Grand Prix is cool as a way of starring up that car a bit, but I think the best thing from the last like 2 months of play of this has probably been the burst of speed, which was just the time to finish off some cool cars if you have a decently seasoned garage. But like that said, for a free player at the moment, this game must be a whole lot less fun because I said like you're pretty much guaranteed to always have a car like the Gallardo in kind of the middle of all of those special events for the cars, which means the fact that the special events are also going to be effectively gated to people who bought the Legend Pass, and of course people who also have a garage for it. So you're going to need to pay the €10 to have a chance at having a chance at winning a car if you also spend more tokens. So I don't know, this is definitely a game which has changed from the start when it was very much a everything is free to play game. And I would just kind of say to anyone who is sort of on the fence at stuff, maybe consider the fact that like, are you enjoying the game? Are you kind of getting fun out of playing it, or is logging into it like a job? Because if it is like a job, it's just a game. You can always like, yeah, play many other titles on Switch, and even as a free to play titles, the likes of Rocket League, Paladins, Fortnite. There's quite a lot of other free to play games which don't ask you for a €10 every 2 months or so. But I just said I'd throw my 2 cents at this one at the end of the season anyway. See, there was one cool enough thing I guess that I got from this, which will be 2 in the same video. But yeah, during this season I also had to buy 25 items from the Legend Store. One of which being this nitro upgrade, which will actually be the final upgrade in the Pagani. So that's really, really another nice one to finish off. And yeah, another A golden car. 4,274 rating on that is absolutely dream to drive as well. It is just, yeah, that handling, nitro and acceleration combo really makes this one always kind of a go-to choice for me. Definitely one that I'm kind of happy to have picked up a gold at this season pass. Even if the only reason that I picked it up as gold is because I had to buy 25 of those items from the Legend Store. Not exactly as a reward for doing it, but more just as a case of, oh, I have to do this and buy this thing. And I was like, oh wait, I'm one off golding that. So yeah, we have one golden Pagani from these quests and a golden Centenario. So I don't know, one of those is definitely slightly better than the other. But as I mentioned, that golden Centenario is my first golden one of the S-Class. Next closest to that would be my Trian Nemesis, which let's see, I have 4 epics. I need 3 into handling and 3 into top speed. So I'm still at least another couple of months away from having a golden Nemesis, Now, time to actually claim the rewards for this then, before I forget. Yeah, there is, like, there's only one other blueprint for this right here from completing all the quests. But you do then get 10 more from the missions, which even if you have this 100%ed, that means that, yeah, you are not getting like a third star for this one. It is just 2 stars. I think, is it within 10 blueprints of the next star then? So let's see the last rewards. Yeah, 500,000 credits, pretty cool. 5 for that. Some import parts, which are just going to be traded immediately. A roof for the Asterion. Something trashed. Something trashed. Some blueprints for the Galado, and like I said, yeah, that's bringing me up within 8 blueprints there for that. But realistically, that could take like 2,100 tokens to get the third star for that. A Galado 3 stars or a Galado 2 stars realistically ain't gonna do too much. 500 tokens is pretty good, but honestly what I'll probably do with that is take that 500 tokens, gonna complete those Lamborghini experience event, and I'll go and actually throw those tokens probably into the SC18 towards that 4th star of that, rather than spending more on the Galado. And let's see this new roof on the Asterion. Wow, as well. Like, I don't think they could have picked possibly a worse car to, yeah, be the one to add customizational pieces to. It's just like, the car is so mediocre to drive, and all the customization pieces have just been like make it a tiny bit shinier in ways, but still, like, I don't know. There is that old phrase, you can't polish a turd, and I think this season pass showed that with the Asterion. Definitely for me, anyway. Oh, I mentioned the special event as well, by the way, for the Scion. Just if anyone is wondering, there's a stage in that which required the SC18. And yeah, if you actually do go into that stage right now, if you have access to it, of course, because yeah, a lot of players got cut out, but if you go into that, so stage 8 right now, if you have the car tuned up for the Grand Prix, even though you would not have the key yet, it is possible to actually get the Scion FKP blueprints from this race just by having the car started up for the Grand Prix. So if you are making use of the Grand Prix to kind of start this one up a small bit, yeah, definitely keep in mind the fact that, yeah, there is the possibility of a couple of extra Scion blueprints, and of course the conditions as well from that. So it might bring you 1 or 2 closer conditions to getting an epic or so for this one, or 1 or 2 closer conditions to actually getting access to that contest at the end of this on stage 18. But anyway, guys, if you like following along with my videos and content, and yeah, I really appreciate it if you give a click up there on the sub button if you haven't already. I'd imagine most people who watch this far into one of these videos have, and there's other videos from me here and here. I appreciate all the comments, likes, and yeah, obviously views on the videos, guys. Really appreciate all the support. And yeah, leave us know in the comments down below, say like how you got on in this season pass, and if it was more boring, or kind of like if you actually really enjoyed things out of it. Because yeah, like I said, the cars that came from this being the mediocre version of the Galado unlocked, the Scion unlocked at 2 stars so far for me, and yeah, like a couple of Grand Prix which were meh-ish a small bit. Not exactly setting my world on fire, but yeah, let us know in the comments if you're like, no, I love Lamborghinis. But yeah, guys, good luck as always, and drive safe.